Impromptu live. Welcome to the replay. If you're just joining us, it's Monday, September 13th. And the reason we're coming on today is because we have an email that prompted some surprising enthusiasm
From me.
from the SBA that Trevor
is enthusiastic about the SBA, which happens when?
Never. So we wanted to jump on with the whole $2 million increase.
He even treated us to a couple of tall lattes as a way to celebrate.
Yeah. And so the $2 million increase.
Champagne. Am I interrupting
yes. you? Yes. You actually were fine before, so I don't know what happened. All right. So let's just get into the $2 million increase, what's been happening thus far, some of the chaos with the confusion of what to expect, and how the SBA has been reacting, and our surprising email that actually does something that has never been done before in a year and a half.
Manages expectations.
So we're going to talk about that right now. Why don't you take it away?
I get to take it away. I can talk now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to sip of my champagne cafe latte.
Oh, guess what? My laptop is not plugged in, but that's okay.
What do you mean it's not plugged in?
It's plugged in, but it's not charging. So who knows what's going to happen with that. But take it away.
I have to take it away still? Because
Yes.
I was going to go recharge your
No.
laptop. Do we have any folks visiting us right now?
Food in my teeth? We just had sushi. Z plates. What up? Hey, Kathy Lee. Nice to see you. I emailed you, and I shouldn't have, but I did. And then I told you that I didn't need to email you. But
hi, Kathy Lee.
That was me pinch hitting over the weekend.
All right. So this morning, one of our clients received an email from SBA reconsideration team in response to our submitting a reconsideration for this client. And the thing about it is they indicate processing times. I think Linda is going to put it up as a screenshot.
I am. I have.
Thank you for reaching out to the PDC reconsideration team. The current average processing time for reconsideration requests is approximately 4 weeks.
I just realized it has Mike's name on it.
The current average processing time for appeals is approximately 12 weeks. A loan officer will be in touch if additional information is needed to make a decision on your request. Please be advised that it can take up to 2 weeks for documents to be uploaded to your file after submission. So we have 3 key elements in this email, which is amazing. Number 1, average processing times, 4 weeks. Notice they say average processing time for reconsiderations, 4 weeks. Average processing time for appeals, 12 weeks. And up to 2 weeks to upload documents. So let me focus on that word average and the phrase up to. So way back in my customer service days when we used to repair VCRs and answering machines and things like that for people, we had a pretty good sense what the average repair time was at our technical repair center. And so as the manager, I taught my staff to always quote, average repair times are 3 to 4 weeks. If you beat it and you get the pieces returned a week later, fixed, great. But it creates an atmosphere of expectation from the customer. And this expectation, this managing of this expectation has been sorely missing from the SBA's messaging and communications for the better part of the last 19 months.
A year and a half.
So this is an astounding development, and I just feel like the SBA has been watching our videos.
Trevor wants to believe very desperately that the SBA was watching our videos.
Well, also because I did a 3-hour deep dive on the new SBA.gov website on Thursday when they rolled out the $2 million increase and a whole slew of amazing new developments, including a brand new application. And I'm reading the new application and I'm reading information that's on the SBA website. I'm thinking, wait, this sounds like me. I wrote that.
This is what you kind of have been talking about for over a year for sure. I do want to interrupt you in your flow because this kind of came up whether or not it was an anomaly. The whole EIDL 2.0, I think it encompasses a couple things, not only the upgrades in the technical aspect of the SBA application, but also
don't call it 2.0.
That's where I was going.
Okay.
That's where I was going.
Thank you.
Because someone called the SBA.
Someone else on YouTube.
On YouTube. Well, no. Someone who commented on one of our, they said they called about EIDL 2.0 and her loan is in process. And they told her it's not going to be for another month. And I said, did you say EIDL 2.0? Because don't say that. They don't know what you're talking. They think
that phrase does not exist in the United States government Small Business Administration. EIDL 2.0 is created by those other YouTubers, you know, the people that I'm always being kicked under the table to not throw under the bus here on our shows, because this one's like, don't say anything bad about the other YouTubers, except they're all about clickbait and sensationalism, including come up with the fakaked expression EIDL 2.0. It's not EIDL 2.0. It's EIDL with a loan limit increase
of up to $2 million.
Stop calling it 2.0. It sets a false expectation in people's minds that it's some new program. It's not.
It's not a new program. It's the SBA's attempt, which I have said this multiple times. It's the SBA's attempt to deflect so that you think things are better and that they're.
But the SBA is not calling it 2.0.
No, they're not.
They're not deflecting.
Well, no, but they announce all of this stuff so that everyone is excited that maybe they're going to have a better experience, and they don't, because the SBA has not really improved all that greatly with approvals. Like, here's Percy, who's like, I submitted 8 weeks ago and request
no phone calls. Yeah, Percy, we hear you. And in fact, so Natalie Walters, our friend at the Dallas Morning News, interviewed me again last Thursday and Friday with regards to, thanks, Kathy Lee, with regards to,
she's not
hold on, Kathy Lee,
hat.
hold on. This is my latte. Notice the top of my latte, okay? This is the top of Linda Ray's latte.
Hey, all in the name of, it's all about the lipstick.
It's all about the lipstick.
It's all about the lipstick.
So Natalie interviewed me
Good afternoon,
regarding
David.
the new SBA $2 million rollout and everything. So she quoted me in her new article from Friday, but she also quoted the SBA, who claims, David DeJong, you're going to love this. Kathy Lee, you're going to love this. And Percy, you're going to love this. The SBA claims and they quoted in the Dallas Morning News on Friday that they have cleared the entire backlog of increased loans. Nobody's waiting for an increase anymore. Right, David? Right, Kathy Lee? Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear that silence?
Yeah.
They claim that they have gone through 600,000 increased requests. This is what Linda means by deflecting. I was talking about the EIDL 2.0. Stop calling it that. It's not 2.0. It's the same EIDL. They're upgrading. We're going to talk briefly about $2 million increase in a moment. But our intention on coming on today was to talk about this new messaging in the email that one of our clients received this morning from SBA, indicating average processing time for reconsideration is 4 weeks. Average processing time for appeals, 12 weeks. Document uploads can take up to 2 weeks. Plus, they go on to talk about the 4506T. Now, if you tune in to Wednesday night's show this week, WTF Wednesday this week, we're going to talk about the $2 million increase and the 4506T, because who was right?
You were right.
Who?
You.
Who?
You.
Who was
Who you?
Who you? Who was right?
You, Scooby Dooby Doo.
About all those 4506T is going to go away.
4506T is not going to go away.
We're going to talk about that Wednesday night.
Do we really need to talk about that Wednesday?
No,
I don't want to talk
Wednesday.
about it. It's not going away. And you know what? I did one video. I had one woman who was like, this is insulting. It's like, okay, so you don't want to, you want to listen to things that you hope are going to be true, or you want to listen to what is going to be true. It's not going away.
Okay. Further, the email that our client received indicates also, please note that repeat inquiries to the SBA may result in a delay in your request being processed. Linda Ray, hang on a second. Hey,
Yeah.
tell our lucky audience who has been telling everyone forever and ever and ever, stop calling the SBA every day. Who?
You.
Who?
You
Who?
again.
Who?
You again.
Oh.
You know, listen, I'm going to just say this because I have to live with this guy. So some of you who think like we're annoying on how we present our information, you have no idea what it's like to even live with him. So, but let me just say
I just bought you sushi.
95% of the time, Trevor is pretty on point with not only anticipating the dysfunction, expecting the dysfunction, expecting the fact that there are some things that are just not going to be what people think they're going to be with the SBA. And it's,
95% of the time? That's it?
Yeah, 95%. Because the other 5%, when he's wrong, it's actually something he assumed the SBA might get right. Should I say that again? He's wrong because he was like, oh, they're going to really fix this. And they didn't. And you were wrong about that.
So very briefly on the $2 million increase, because inquiring minds want to know, we're going to talk about it in more detail on Wednesday night's show, WTF Wednesday. So be sure to tune in Wednesday evening. Hello, Ashton. But the brief part about the $2 million is for quite a few months, I have, number one, I predicted the $2 million was coming in the fall, and it's not quite the fall. But actually, it will be the fall because the SBA said they will not approve any $2 million increases until after October 8th. So who was right again?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also predicted that it would probably be easier to get the increase above 500,000 because since SBA has driven you all batshit crazy for 6 months to get tax returns and documents in file, that really would just be a matter of flip a switch and you go from 500,000 to whatever you're qualified for up to the $2 million limit. Boy, was I wrong about that one.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
The SBA is going to muck that up, and we're going to talk about that Wednesday night.
That's the 95% where you're right in expecting dysfunction, and the 5% where you're like, maybe, just maybe a little bit won't be dysfunctional, that they'll actually figure something out that is in the best interest of the American business owner and the public at large, who is your constituents. Oh, by the way, for any of you who are wondering, because I know really what's on your mind, that this outfit is, I think, the same as another video we did live last week. It is.
Singer okay. 714. So let's talk about your statement here. Wait, whoa. Hello,
hello, yeah,
hello.
Singer, yeah.
Thank you, Ashton. Okay, so this is what I did not, you don't get. So whether it's 38,000 Singer or 500,000, you're all in the same boat. I just want to be clear about that because we have over 300 files that we're processing, and we see the response times and varying degrees of professionalism and quality of responsiveness across a huge spectrum, and it does not have anything to do with the loan amount. So Singer, I don't know if that gives you any comfort. I hope it does, because I promise you the SBA is not looking at your dollar figure and giving somebody with 500,000 any more of a priority.
No.
Not happening.
No.
Although all loans from 500,000 and less have a priority status from September 8th to October 8th, 2021, which means only one thing. It doesn't mean your file, Singer, is going to go any faster, or Kathy Lee. No. What it means is that the SBA will not work on approving loans higher than 500,000 until after October 8th.
Yes.
So I like, this is what Linda was saying about how the SBA messaging. I like how the SBA phrased that. Loans below 500,000 will get a priority. Right away, my email and phone and text started blowing up with people thinking, oh, great, we're priority. No, you're not. You're not priority.
It just means
you're not. It just means they're not going to approve any loans more than $500,000.
And it means they're not going to jump ahead to loans that are larger just for the sake that the loan is larger and that they get priority because the loan is larger. But I do want to.
By the way, we're here in our office in New Milford right now, and we're looking out on the village green, and there's some really cool cars passing by. So that's why you keep seeing me looking off camera.
I want to address Puya here. and I don't know how to do it.
I'm going to leave this one for you.
I don't know how.
My head will explode.
I'm going to try to be as delicate as possible. Okay. I think you're focusing on the wrong things with the first part of the first sentence. The second part of this comment is where you should be focusing on. Now, I'm going to I will say I am sorry in advance if you've already triple and quadruple checked your 4506. I will apologize in advance. But I will say this: if you triple check, and Z Plates, comment on this with me, won't you?
Yeah, Z Plates, we need you, man.
Go back to your 4506T, and if you did more than one,
Erica, I'm with you.
Go back to your all of your 4506T. Go back to each one that you think you've submitted, that you think they have, and look and side by side with your tax return 2019 tax return side by side with the 4506T, and if they don't match, it's the problem with the 4506T, and it's not the IRS that's backlogged. It's because your 4506T is defective. Period.
Whether you fill it out wrong or the SBA fills it out wrong, 99% of the time, the transcripts are not coming back because it's defective.
Stop.
And Singer and Percy, you are both welcome. We're happy to answer your questions.
See Z Plates.
Vito, what you want to do is go to auroraconsulting.biz, B-I-Z, and everything you need to know about how you can hire us is right there on our website. Singer, you're quite welcome. All right. So, yeah, Z Plates nails it. Even though I had it right, Z Plate says, SBA was using the wrong one. That's why, Puya, we're saying to you, you're calling a senator, you're calling a congressperson, I'll bet you probably call SBA twice a day. You're wasting your time. You're focusing on something you have no control of. You know what you have control over? Is the 4506.
Go back in it.
Completely.
Triple check it.
I rejected three more this weekend on loans that were closing, approved.
Yes.
And they wanted us to DocuSign 4506Ts on the SBA portal that were defective. One was missing the client's middle initial.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let me just say this. I'm going to interrupt you because,
interrupt. You just kicked me under the table.
99% of the time when people are beyond their wits, it's because, they're doing too much of the wrong thing. You're focusing on the wrong things. And, okay, maybe it's not 99, maybe it's 95, but even still, kick in
Puya because we have more detail now. Oh. So Puya, welcome to our show. And by the way, Puya, I have some very good advice for you. Starting right this minute, stop watching all the other YouTube videos. Watch our YouTube videos.
That's so arrogant.
I don't care because Puya, here's what your problem is. You have an amended tax return.
Yeah.
I want you to answer my question, Puya. When did you file that amended tax return?
Yeah.
And without you answering it, if you file that amended tax return this year, you will not see any money until next year. Yeah. Just let me help you understand that right now.
Yeah.
Because the IRS on the irs.gov website says submitting an amended tax return minimum of 4 months before the IRS begins to process your amended return.
Yeah.
Okay. If you filed an amended tax return at the end of last year, different story. Then it's a defective 4506T. But if you filed an amended tax return this year, Puya, you will not see any money until the end of this year or early next year.
I just put a link in the comments to our video on the 2019 amended tax return and what you may or may not be, what to expect. And how you may or may not like that news.
And that's why when Linda said, I sound arrogant because I'm telling you not to watch other YouTubers, because had you followed us all this time, Puya, you would have known we have been talking about this amended tax return issue for months. And we have had all these stamped tax returns. I'm going to get my own transcripts.
Yes.
All of that crap.
We have videos on all of that.
People are picking up elsewhere on the internet between Reddit and the other YouTubes. And they're like arguing with me here on our show that you're wrong, Trevor, except I'm not wrong. I was a direct lender for 30 damn years. I know I'm right. And I know how the tax return verification system works. And it doesn't work the way these other people out there in the world are telling you it works. It's pretty simple. You got to have a 4506T. It's got to be accurately filled out, or else the IRS cannot find the tax return.
Yes. I put in.
And if you file an amended returns, 4 months.
I put another link to a video we did on tax transcripts. So Puya, the whole thing with the stamped returns and submitting your own transcript on
Failed
your
strategy.
own behalf, waste of time.
Waste of time.
Politicians, waste of time. I think just recently there was one person that said that someone,
I don't believe it.
One of them got it.
Somebody came on our show and said their senator helped. I don't believe it. I think
Yes,
what happened
Dental,
was it was
submit a
just a
new
matter
one.
of it was just a matter of timing. Dental, absolutely submit a new one. Make sure triple, quadruple, 5 times check it.
Yes.
Again, what we do here at Aurora Consulting, when we come onto YouTube and we answer questions, we are sharing with you both the insurance broker experience, the mortgage banker experience, and our experience processing Eidl applications for 19 months, day in, day out, 7 days a week. We are giving you feedback based upon our knowledge and experience in real time.
Yes.
We don't speculate here on this channel.
I mean, listen, there may be times where we say something like, just on a vernacular semantics, we might say, we think maybe, and that's only because of.
That's not speculation.
But that's because we actually are talking to loan officers who are trying to give us.
Qualifying your answer.
And that's just trying to give us, we talk to loan officers every day trying to get a file to move forward, and then we get feedback. And on their end, the feedback changes all the time too. What did we even do a show when we did our show last week? Did we even disclose how the loan officer was like, they just told us this morning, whatever it was, that.
Oh, I remember
that dysfunction du jour.
I was on the phone with a loan officer on a client who is coming through the threshold of reaching the $500,000 loan after having been declined last year for credit, declined in reconsideration. I filed an appeal. So we're in the final stages here. And on the phone with the loan officer, I said, by the way, can we talk about the $2 million? And the loan officer said, does your client want it? I said, of course he wants it. Now, this was Tuesday last week, before SBA rolled out the new website on Thursday, the 8th. And the loan officer said, well, he said 2 interesting things. Number one, he said, we had a meeting about it this morning. That was last Tuesday. So they were only talking to the loan officers 2 days before they roll out the website. Number two was he said our client didn't qualify because of a credit score. And when I said to him, well, what's the credit score? He couldn't give me an answer. He had this vague mumble, blah, 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 kind of thing. Well, on Thursday, when SBA launched the website, they put the credit score down for the $2 million. It's 625. And I just updated that client's credit report this morning, and he's got a 644. So the loan officer was wrong. Why? Because the SBA hasn't fully informed their loan officers.
Right.
So if y'all are coming in here looking for, or anywhere else out on the internet looking for the concrete, absolute truth of $2 million increase, it ain't happening because the SBA doesn't know what it is.
They don't even know.
It's too early.
They don't even know. Like, can we just broach very briefly this question on collateral, okay? And I just, by mistake, by accident, had a full sentence of alliteration. So I'm really proud of myself. We'll have to rewind at 22:57 minutes and find out what that was. But can we just discuss how no one knows yet? Do we know yet about collateral and like what?
It's not fully fleshed out by the SBA.
And when I say even that, there's going to then be like, is real estate the only thing? Probably not. Is real estate? Is there anything else besides real estate? Probably. I think that's it. That's the explanation for that. Period. Full stop. Let's move on until we have some better guidance. Which, by the way, for a year and a half, that's the other messaging that we've had. Stop listening to the speculation until there's some actual concrete guidance
in
writing as best as possible that the SBA provides. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself crazy and you're going to do stuff that we've already seen here on this exchange of this video with comments where people were trying things just for the sake of trying, which makes sense like in another dimension, but this is the SBA world. So you have to actually wait for concrete guidance before moving forward. Otherwise, you'll have to potentially undo to redo. And so it's a waste of time.
Puya, by the way, has just agreed with you. Can you put up Puya's comment? Puya has just agreed with you, Linda Ray. It's Failed Strategies. We're welcoming you to the little Linda Ray and Trevor channel family here, Puya. Stay tuned for more awesome, accurate information.
Yes, there you go.
And Ashton is part of that family. And Puya, we have a playlist, the Eidl reconsideration playlist. You can visit our website, auroraconsulting.biz, to either buy our Roadmap to Reconsideration, which is a course which walks you through every single
thing you never wanted to
hair-raising
know
aspect.
about EIDL and hiring
Everything.
an EIDL consultant.
And then, of course, if you want to hire us as your consultant to manage your experience with the SBA on the EIDL, you can find that as well at auroraconsulting.biz. And folks, if you find the information we're sharing with you today to be helpful, could you hit the thumbs up and also maybe go to our Google business page and write a review? We're at 194 reviews. We're trying to get to 200 reviews.
Ashton, I did not even see this when I went onto that rant. I apologize. It was not you, this banner, this comment. I didn't even see this. I just wanted to, because somebody.
I knew I should have got the bigger size.
Because someone else this has been going for days and days and days with the collateral. And I was like, stop it. I can't. I just can't. But the other thing, oh gosh, it's going to happen where I just forgot what it was. Oh, you guys. Okay. So I think I see there's 29 of you that's watching. If you did not see our PO22 video that we posted on Friday, can you go there and like it? Because that video, we got 14 thumbs down, which is that's like, we've never gotten that many thumbs down. But
so we're surmising that's because people are annoyed with us that we did not tell them in minute detail how to fill out the form. The reason we didn't teach anybody how to fill a form is because the form is idiotically stupid easy to fill out.
Yeah, so there's that part. Unfortunately, I did have to ask someone if they read the one-page form. I don't know what this.
Hello, Dumel. Dumel Barriento from Jean-Baptiste.
So there was a lag in the chat. Oh yeah, there was a lag in the chat. And wait, are you talking about the 159D? Is that the 159D form? Anyway, we have a video on that too. So
okay, so we wanted to talk to you today. Again, the email we got this morning from PDC Reconsideration, where they're laying out expectations. So this is a big, very positive development on the part of SBA. I feel like they're inside my brain right now. Wait,
what?
Isabella Guzman is having an English muffin for lunch?
Wait,
what?
What? What are you talking about?
Okay, get out of my head, Isabella. Get out of my head. Okay, woman, get out of my head.
Did she post on Twitter or something?
No, SBA is in my head right now because they're stealing all my ideas.
Oh.
The email, that was a Trevor joke. It's usually not very funny.
Well, no, it wasn't.
I have no words.
Okay. When you guys were what's with the dead air? Are you thinking about the muffin? Anyway, all right. The other thing that what else did I want to put a kibosh on? So the collateral kibosh, the PO22 kibosh, as far as filling out the form, the fact that we've not done a video on exactly how to fill out that the 5 pieces of information you have to put in. We didn't do a video on the exact how-to of how to fill in those 5 pieces of information. It's a 1-page form. If you've read the form and you still don't understand it, then maybe I'll answer the questions. But
so I want to throw the SBA under the bus after having given them a compliment just now in their messaging. Couple of emails I've received from SBA in the last 24 hours on different files I'm working on for our clients, where the clients were requesting the increase. And we're getting the email saying, okay, we're working on your increase. We need you to send in some more documents. Send in a tax return, a 4506T or whatever it is, right? In one email, it says, you can email the documents to COVID Ideal Increase Request at SBA.gov. But the other emails, they're mixed. They're all mixed. The other one says, you can email the documents into PDC Recons. So folks at SBA, which email is it we're supposed to use? Which email address are we supposed to use? You know what I like to use? PDCRecons at SBA.gov. You know why? Because when you send an email to PDCRecons at SBA.gov, you get a message back in a few minutes, usually 2 to 3 or 4 minutes. It says, it's an automated message saying, we have received your request. And that tells me that my email went past the SBA security firewall. Because there are problems with the SBA security firewall, because I've sent in emails and they have bounced back and I've had to send in multiple attempts. So, the SBA's technology is not quite 21st century. Hell, it's barely even late 20th century in many cases, especially the SBA portal, which continues to confound me.
I gotta
on a
make a
daily
mark of that
basis.
29 minutes. I gotta grab that. That's hilarious.
Okay.
I gotta do a Giphy on
Linda
that.
Ray, what else you got for the folks today? And then I'm ready for more.
I think
coffee.
so we can make this a shorter show in that this is the time right now if you have questions, because we're going to be logging out. So this is the countdown to Q&A before we sound off. No, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Let's just recap. 4506 is not going away. The P022 has 5 pieces of information to fill out, 1-page form. Read it first. And then the collateral, we do not know if it's just real estate, and we don't know what other types of
It's too soon.
Collateral would be accepted beyond real estate. We don't know if you don't own a home, what that means.
We don't know. Tune in on Wednesday night. For WTF Wednesday, we're going to talk about the notorious 4506T, and we're going to flesh out a little more detail on the $2 million increase. And if you like the painting that's on the wall behind us, this is a painting we bought for our office here at Aurora Consulting, painted by our good friend in our little town here in Connecticut where we live.
Yes.
If you like it and you'd like to purchase work from this artist, just shoot us an email. Curious@auroraconsulting.biz,
Yes,
and put cool painting in the subject line, and Linda will connect you with.
No, but
with our
actually, if so this is our moment for the only promotions we do is if you haven't written a review on our Google page, please, you don't know how much it means with the time we spend to provide information to you as a courtesy. We do appreciate, and we do ask shamelessly for you to leave a review on our Google page. Number 1. Number 2, please go to Friday's video that was P022 and put a thumbs up there if you haven't already.
We need to cancel out those 4 negative
the
thumbs
14.
down.
They're 14 thumbs down. And the reason is, for anyone who understands YouTube and the dynamics of YouTube, the fact that video has almost 4,000 views and we only have 58 likes at the time I looked and 14 thumbs down, that just personally is annoying to me. Yes, does it seem petty? Perhaps, but we spend a lot of time on YouTube, and YouTube has been a very meaningful platform for us, for you.
Can you pop up Singer's question?
Yes.
Okay. So Singer, the reason the number is different, there's 3 different numbers that appear in that email. Use your SBA disaster EIDL application number, which is usually 33, etc., or 2000 if you were very early. The second number is your SBA disaster loan number, which if you look on your EIDL loan agreement and authorization form, you will see in the upper left-hand corner your SBA disaster loan number, and in the upper right-hand corner, your EIDL application number. And then the third number that appears in these emails is some kind of wackadoodle, bizarro, internal SBA coding. Not sure why they put that out into the world to just further confound all of us, like Singer and myself, as to what the hell file they're talking about. But if they're saying that your file is declined on September 7th, Singer, then I would recommend, which they are doing, by the way, they're declining files, and they're saying, I just got a declination about 45 minutes ago. They're saying, you still haven't submitted any information to overcome the previous decision, except I did submit the information, which means nobody at the SBA read it. So we're kind of back to the same bunch of nincompoops at SBA not reading documents. So Singer, what you want to do is call customer service this afternoon. I see that Dumail, Barriento Jean-Baptiste, took our advice on Friday, and he called customer service to verify documents he had submitted. There's only really 2 questions you can ask customer service. I sent in documents. Do you see it in my system yet? Yes or no? Closed-end questions. Or Singer, in your case, hi, I'm calling to verify. I got a letter. I just want to confirm. Is my loan request declined, or is it still in process?
Yes.
A or B? No in-betweens.
The application number does start with a sequence of 33.
Right, that's the EIDL application.
Yeah.
Okay, and by the way, Singer, we've seen that also where they send in wrong application numbers. But in your case, is it possible that you have duplicate applications.
Hi, Ashton.
So Ashton, good to see you. Singer, what you want to do is then go into your portal, and in the upper right-hand corner, do your drop down where it says change business and see if you have multiple applications. That you might have gotten a declination letter for one of your duplicate applications, which duplicates happen a lot, not because people were trying to defraud the SBA, it's because their system is so forcocked that it's very easy to have filed multiple applications last year. So just kind of making some guesses for you, Singer. I don't know if that's helping.
All right. Well, with that, you got anything else? I just went to the video that I was asking you guys to like, and now we have 59 likes and 16 thumbs down. I gotta tell you, it's the only thing I can surmise, because we're no more goofier than any other video that we've done. I think it's because it was not a specific how-to on how to fill it out. People were expecting like this form, and instead of us bitching and moaning about it, they wanted us to tell them how to fill it out. That's the only thing I could think of why we got so many thumbs down.
Can you put up Brandon Bishop's question, please, Lynn?
Yeah.
So Brandon, what's interesting about this idea of getting rid of the duplicates, because we process so many hundreds of EIDL loans, I months and months ago developed a strategy based on conversations with SBA, where when a client hired us, I would then investigate the portal and other avenues to see if they had duplicate application. Then I would prepare an affidavit. And to answer your question, Brandon, you want to try this first. An affidavit, to whom may concern, make sure your information at the top, your name, your business name, EIN, address, phone number, email address, and your EIDL numbers. To may concern, please remove duplicate application number and put that number in from my file. I mistakenly filed this application because the SBA portal crashed or whatever your reason was. Sign it and date it. Do not send that in an email like, hey, email to SBA. No, do not call SBA. No, write a letter. This is one of the things we tell folks all the time. Write a letter, sign it and date it. So do what I call a duplicate application removal affidavit, Brandon. But here's the problem. On the phone 2-3 months back with a phenomenal SBA loan officer who was putting our client over the finish line on a reconsideration request. She moved him from $182,000 to $500,000 by using his 2020 tax returns, which was pretty cool. But so she was a rock star. She told me that all the duplicates, they all go to the same place. They always base everything off of your original application number, and anything that comes after that, it all funnels back to the original number. And I said, oh, I've been sending in duplicate application removal affidavits for months. She says, no, you don't need to do that. Except in just the last week, I have 2 of our clients who got declined for having multiple applications. The most recent was Saturday. Saturday. I mean, it's kind of classic SBA. You don't know as one loan officer said to me one day, Trevor, one hand doesn't know what the other one's doing over here. So Brandon, create the affidavit, send that in, go to your portal, look up all the duplicate applications, get those numbers and put that in your letter, and send that in. Hey, Antoine, and just hang in there with your reconsideration process. Okay. Vito, how long is the funding after approval?
3 to 15
3
days.
to 15 days.
You'll get it.
Puya wants to know if you get an email when you decline.
I hope you have the
you're supposed
right bank
to,
account.
Puya. You're
supposed to get it. Yes, you're supposed to get an email with the declination. You're supposed to be, if you're not funded within 3 to 15 days, just triple check your bank information. So, I'm growing the pencil now. Thank you so much, Brandon.
So I hear the fire alarm going off where our office here in New Milford, Connecticut is just around the corner from the firehouse, which means that at any moment, fire trucks are going to go roaring past our window here. So probably a good, there's our landlord across the street.
Anyway, all righty. So I don't see any more questions. So we just want to say thank you again. We used to have regularly scheduled, like WTF Wednesday, we would go live, and then Mondays and Fridays we would post pre-recorded videos or take excerpts from live footage and make it into a shorter snippet of information. And it's just, the SBA has just made everything so complicated for us that our time is a lot more constricted. So we're not really.
Thanks, Timothy.
We're
Thank
not
you, Singer.
scheduling it. We're not having.
Thanks,
We don't have a
Vito.
set schedule. We don't have a set schedule for our videos. But
Well, we try to do WTF Wednesday in the evening, usually around 6:30 or 7 o'clock Eastern time, because we're in the East.
Singer.
We're in New England. We try to do that on a regular basis on Wednesdays. But so we are going live this week, Wednesday evening, WTF Wednesday. We're going to talk about the notorious 4506T form.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the PO22 form.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the $2 million increase because y'all want to know. So we'll tell you.
We'll tell you. Real talk. Thanks,
Brandon. Thank you. Hilariously sarcastic. Thank you, brother.
Yes.
I love you, man.
Yes. I mean, I think it takes a little bit of a skill to be pithy and witty.
Or just being a New Yorker.
With SBA Eidl, because let's face it, right? I mean, we have to take some moments to chuckle about the utter chaos and stupidity of so much stuff going on. And thank you, Antoine. Oh, yeah. No, thank you. Sorry, wrong. No, thank you, Singer. Running for. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dumid.
All right. So
Dumid.
Everyone, stay safe, stay well.
Wait, hold on. Before we go,
patient.
Dumil, I have a funny story about Haitian clients I used to have in Brooklyn.
Awesome, Antoine.
In the mortgage business. And I'm not assuming that you're Haitian, but with a name that's Spanish and French, maybe you are. Jean-Baptiste is I've come across that name frequently with my Haitian clients when I was a mortgage banker. So many years ago, early in my mortgage career, I was in a real estate office in Brooklyn, and these three giant Haitian cab drivers walked in with their wives to get the mortgage loan application to buy a house. And they sat across the desk from me with their, I mean, these guys were huge. And I was this skinny little, very handsome, very clean shaven mortgage banker guy. And I'm sitting there and I was kind of sort of
I'm not saying
a little bit out of sorts.
Not saying a word.
And that these guys sat across from me with their wives sitting behind them.
About you being skinny and handsome and shaven and.
Anyway, these guys all sat across the desk from me and like this, and nobody says a word. So I'm looking at the application paperwork. I'm trying to figure out. And now, mind you, I'm like only 2 or 3 months in the mortgage business at this point. I'm like, so I look across at everybody and I said, okay, let me ask you guys, who has the Susu money? And they all broke up. The whole room broke up, hysterical laughing. The broker who was in the next room comes running in. His name was Max Smith. I love Max Smith. What a great guy. And he comes in. How do you know what Susu is? I said, I work for the bank. I'm supposed to know what Susu is. So Susu is a Haitian term for private savings club. The Koreans call it K or Kai. In Spanish, we call it sociedades. And there's different types of.
You say we like you're Spanish. You're not.
Well, I speak Spanish. Hablo español. Claro que sí. And anyway, so what private savings club is, because in certain parts of the world, folks don't have access to proper banks, and so typically a local, kind of authority figure, in this case, a barber or a hair salon owner, becomes kind of like the local banker, and folks contribute money into the pot every week, and every week somebody gets a hand and gets the money. And the Federal Housing Administration, back in the 1980s, late 1980s, recognized this form of private savings clubs as a legitimate way to save money to buy a house. And therefore, if I'm sitting with an applicant who was buying a house then, and it's still true now as far as I know, and I say, hey, look, you got a $15,000 deposit here, which you're going to use to buy your house. Where'd you get the money from? Oh, that's from Susu or Sociedades. Okay. And so the Federal Housing Administration accepts that, or did accept it, legitimate form of savings. I mean, you have to document it and everything. That's why I get so annoyed with the Small Business Administration. Because you see, the Federal Housing Administration regional office, the HUD regional office in New York City, was coming across this explanation for deposits very frequently, and they created a rule that
And
went
they-
in
right.
the rule book.
And they yield to their public,
The way people do things,
you know,
and
right.
it went
Their
all the way up to
constituents.
Washington D.C. and it became implemented into the general underwriting guidelines for the Federal Housing Administration for the entire United States of America.
So how is the
And
SBA still failing?
That's why we don't
to
understand.
advocate for their constituents. I mean, you know, if you go to where I read it somewhere, I think it was it was online. It was definitely on the website, and it says that the Small Business Administration is to protect small business. And I'm thinking to myself, and now that I
Well, that's not its mission.
no,
Its
but
mission
it's
from
part of
1953 is to make working capital available. That's
Yes.
why I was still working capital available to women, minority borrowers, Native American borrowers, and other underserved communities. 1953, it's in the legislation.
yes.
That's the purpose of the Small Business
But
Administration.
their PR and their messaging to facing the public, it says that they're supposed to protect the small business. And that just enraged me because I'm like, well, if that's part of, I know what it was. It was in an email when they were having these webinars that the people who were running them, some of them didn't really even know part of the things about the program or part of the bits and pieces of the process that business owners are craving to understand so they can do the thing they need to do to get this money. That's what most people were seeing. These business owners that are coming on here, you guys asking questions, it's because, listen, if you need me to do something, I will do it so I can get this money. A lot of our clients.
Just tell me what I need to do.
Just tell me what I need to
Except
do.
the Small Business Administration still to this day doesn't really tell you what you need to do. That's why you all are here on our show. That's why you're all on the other shows and on Reddit trying to gather information from around the planet.
Yeah.
Whereas you should just be able to get it from the source, which is the SBA. So, by the way, if you go to FHA.gov today and you want to buy a house, you can read the guidelines on how to qualify for an FHA government mortgage. And you can say, oh, that's what I need to do to get access to this money. Why is it that our clients, as recently as 12 minutes ago, I just saw the email, are still getting emails from record-keeping clerks at the SBA because the loan they got last year, they didn't submit their resolution, their insurance yet? Why are those people working on clerks? Why is the SBA, Isabella, take these people, put them in a reconsideration team and get them approving loans?
Especially if they're so good at haranguing folks.
Oh, they harass
submit
the heck
these
out of business
documents.
owners.
Can't you do that to get the requirements met for the approvals of the loan versus the constant, unrelenting follow-up on loans that have been closed? Oh, by the way, those loans that have been closed that you're following up on the record keeping, maybe if you approve those increases, then this will all get done once you finish.
How about you all wait till
job.
COVID is over?
Jesus.
But so this, can you put up someone's comment, Lynn?
Yeah.
So this record keeping thing, by the way, is just another element of how the SBA fails to wake up to the reality of the COVID-19 pandemic, because the language in the Eidl loan agreement is that within 180 days of getting the funding, you have to send this resolution and insurance. Yeah, okay, that's great if it's tornado.
Yeah.
And a hurricane and a flood. But COVID, I mean, folks are still trying to figure out how they're going to reopen. Oh, wait, now with Delta, are we closing?
Or another variant.
Are we forcing people to wear masks? Are we forcing people to get vaccinated? And the SBA wants us to get a resolution letter. Like, people don't have time for that. And that people are desperate for money. This is what I mean. Like with the Federal Housing Administration and the Veterans Administration, the mortgage division that I dealt with for 30 years, there's a much more real time, if you will, and reality-based interaction with the American taxpayer to provide the funding in those programs. That same connection does not exist between the Small Business Administration and you folks.
But this is the other reason, too, that we have stressed beyond you have to be better than the SBA. And I don't mean with following up and calling them with status. I mean triple checking your 4506T and stop blaming IRS backlogs. That's bullshit. Okay. You have to be better, not only better than the SBA, but better than who you were before COVID with your business. If you weren't paying attention to your business because you weren't good at it, or it's not your strong suit, or you delegated it, or whatever the case is. And I don't know is not a punctuation mark. I don't know is, okay, let me go figure it out what this means. Okay. And then, find a reliable source or, something. But just because you don't know how to do something, or I'm not really good at this, don't hit me under the table, because this is important, because you don't deal with the comments and the questions and the texts and the emails. My father, when I was in the insurance business, okay, and this was like 20 years ago, and maybe 30, I don't know. I was asking him, I'm like, Dad, so what does this mean?
I'm doing the math. I should know when it was.
What does this mean? I was trying to underwrite a file, and he was like, I don't know, figure it out, call somebody. And I'm like, now don't take that as call the SBA, okay, please. But my story is, it was figure it out. It wasn't, I don't know, and then I just don't do it, or I just leave it to languish. You can't. You have to be better. You have to be a better version of yourself.
Let's move on. Your comment here is exactly what I mean about the SBA failing to give clear messaging, failing to take into account the realities of what's going on out here in the world with small business owners desperate for funding to help them survive COVID. Can we go back to someone's comment? I'm sorry, I wasn't done. Okay. So it looks like some of what you've done is you've quoted from SBA.gov, because I read this last Thursday. And the reason we started our show today and said today about the $2 million increase is that the collateral requirement is not fully formed yet, is because of this sentence that you have shared with us from SBA.gov, which says, your loan will not be declined for lack of collateral, but requires borrowers to pledge what is available.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean?
That's why people are saying, do I need to own a house?
What does that mean?
It's like,
Gets gobbledygook.
That's
nonsense.
That's like ambiguity 2.0, right? Because what the hell?
So we're going to talk about this and other aspects of the $2 million increase on WTF Wednesday, if you tune in this week. And Scott, the zero transparency.
Yeah, tier 10 or blockers. Okay.
I have to say, Scott, I have to disagree with you tremendously on the tier 2 agents. I've had nothing but wonderful experiences with tier 2 agents, except one agent once. Otherwise, the hundreds of folks I've spoken to since March 2020 have been wonderful.
Some of them aren't.
And some people don't know what a C Corp. We've had that experience.
Yeah.
We had experience with a loan specialist telling
Doesn't know
our client
about a DBA.
DBA is different from an LLC.
They don't know that the COVID disaster period is different from a tax return period. There's been some things, but that's because the SBA is their own worst enemy. They don't train. They don't have they're underfunded. They're
overwhelmed.
And they're overwhelmed. It's just been the worst case scenario of the worst case scenario, which, right? What does that mean?
That's a Linda Ray expression, if ever there was one.
Totally.
Her favorite expression is the disaster of disaster financing.
Yeah.
So we hope you all are doing well, and we thank you all for tuning in today. Why don't you wrap it up for us, Linda Ray?
I'm going to wrap it up, and I won't go on a rant, even though I did have my rant and you kicked me under the table. I stand by it. I stand by it. And also, by the way, my rant is what prompted us to start our other YouTube channel, which is Simple Sense for Small Business. You can find that by YouTube/Aurora Consulting. I am shamelessly asking you to go and please subscribe. We need 250 more subscribers so we can get the community tab. And YouTube just lowered the threshold for that. We won't get monetized, but we'll at least get the community tab. So that's my new goal, and we're halfway there. So Aurora Consulting YouTube channel, and I probably have a banner.
Hey, Ed. Thank you, Z Plates. So, by the way, Ed Moore and some of our other folks like Antoine and Ashton who were here, who are clients of ours, you are watching me in that rare moment when I get to relax. This is it. Like, we go on YouTube and This is a moment. This is when I get a breather from working on client files.
Yes. So yeah, thank you, Z Plates. Yes, we also asked for a review. We asked for a lot of things. We asked for a review, subscribe to Aurora Consulting, and go to PO22 that was published on Friday and like that video. What else do we ask for? Hit the like button on this, and then we're gonna sign out. But let me just say, what do we have?
This is Grant. We don't discuss.
Oh, we
grants.
don't.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Troy.
sorry.
We don't discuss grants.
Sorry. All right, everyone. Stay well, stay safe, stay patient, hang in there, control what you can control. And we'll see you WTF Wednesday.
Ciao.